And remember that all this is fully connected. So if I have a nurse that takes vital signs right at the front desk, they can do that in the chart. I don't even have to know that that's happening. When I open up the FlexNote, that'll just be available in my chart.
Welcome, Genesis Nation. And once again, I am proud to bring to you our Chief Technology Officer, Erez Lirov. I love my conversations with this man, from ice baths to technology to what we're creating and what's coming in the pipeline. And really, our focus today is to go over documentation and billing, because most chiropractors that we talk to are mostly concerned with the documentation and billing. One, the speed of it; two, the efficiency; three, lack of redundancy in just a canned note. And what we want to do is create I don't want to necessarily say configurable, but customizable, but configurable and customizable daily note, so that you can use this, especially for those who have integrated practices, other allied healthcare professionals, nurse practitioners, physical therapists, medical doctors, all can use this note system. And the most important part of that is efficiency. So you can bring everything into one hub, from billing to merchant services to notes. So Erez, I'm going to let you just take over and do a screen share so you can show us what we got coming up.
Sounds good. You just need to enable the screen sharing and we'll be good to go.
Oh, yeah, that's the technology piece, right? Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't hire me for technology. You're good to go.
All right, awesome. Yeah, that's great. So, we've had how do I make this smaller? Here we go. We've had a whole lot of iterations of documentation in the last 15 years. As being one of the first cloud-based providers of EHR, we started out when technology was kind of at its infancy on the web, and the capabilities have grown so much over the last few years. But one of the challenges has always been how do you optimize for high volume chiropractic, where your goal is to document compliantly in as little time as possible, get your claims in so that they could get to the insurance companies, and keep seeing the volume of patients that you need to see in order to maintain a healthy practice, versus how do you reconcile that with, now a lot of practices are going multi-specialties. You've got nurse practitioners involved, you've got medical doctors. They're used to a whole entirely different workflow, where there's a little bit more time spent on the documentation. There's kind of this review phase that they're doing in the chart before they even begin to do a note. And then how do you reconcile all of that with certification, meaningful use, and being able to create documentation that has the elements of all the information that's required to be in a chart, like medications and problem lists and things like that. And so, up until this point, we've been developing documentation either for one type of practice or another. And what I'm really excited to kind of present is the idea of merging those two very different types of systems into something that works seamlessly together for all the different disciplines.
Awesome.
So this is where things get really exciting. So I have here a patient. We're looking at a patient's chart. This is a view of all the different aspects of this patient's care that is going to be shared and available to everybody on the care team. So this could be anything from the MD who's overseeing maybe the care of this patient. We've got nurse practitioners, physician assistants, nurses, chiros, obviously, physical therapy perhaps. So everybody who's involved in this patient's care, they all get a single unified view. They can see all the different encounters that this patient has. They can flip into any note at any time. They can look at the most important notes, this patient's care. Medications, these are synchronized automatically with the patient's pharmacy. There's e-prescribe that's just built in. All those capabilities that you expect in a modern EHR.
So really, just on the first side of this, like it's obvious that you paid more attention not only because you have the background of stuff you've created over the last 20 years, and now you're really honing in on user interface, user experience. I mean, this is like an actual physical chart that we used to use instead of flipping through paper. You're now flipping through the digital chart. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's all completely connected together. So there's, for example, if I look at the task components, all these tasks can be automatically triggered by the system. They're shared among the different disciplines. They're available on our mobile apps, and they can be shared between different clinicians. Some of them might be using their native app on a Android phone. Someone else might be on an iPhone. All these things are available from there, and also shared with the admin side of the practice. So someone who's just on the schedule brings up this patient can easily go right into the patient's chart, and they have their access to the same exact information, tasking, and everything else.
So this is awesome. So the same task system that we're used to using for single point management to manage our businesses, it's a much prettier picture here.
Yes.
So I can even have my task checklists if I've created like, just a patient flow, or, credit card processing where a credit card may be denied, or, missed appointments.
You have the wrong zip code or something like that, and that'll come right into the patient's chart. And now you're seeing everything in one place.
Awesome.
Same thing with the patient's care plan, their images. You can just drag and drop, x-rays right into here and organize them, even down to patient messaging. So the ability to have a conversation with a patient on their mobile phone. Now, this is not through SMS or text messaging. That's not really a secure platform for all of this, but this is right through the native app that we provide, that's included with the service. It's called My Genesis, and it's a patient portal that allows patients to log in, see their appointments, and also correspond with the practice, whether it's clinicians or administrative staff, reschedule appointments and all of that. So that's all available from the chart. And really the whole focus of this chart view is to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah. Well, because I ran an integrated practice, so it was always challenging for the medical doctor to go look at a report or an MRI report from outside and all that. But now you're saying it's all like right within a millimeter of a click on this whole chart.
Exactly. You can access it anytime, anywhere. It's all right there for you. But this goes even beyond that, because if you are a practitioner and now you're seeing the patient and you're bringing up a note in front of you, this chart and all the components of those charts are available for your note. So let's say that I want to create a note that has vital signs. So let's create some vital signs for this patient. Add, okay, I'm just going to add some placeholders here. And so now I have vital signs.
Wow.
If I go back into my note and I want to include vital signs in my note, I can just drag that in. Now that could be done.
I want everyone watching this to notice that it took less than that was like 8 seconds or less to bring that into a note. That was amazing.
And remember that all this is fully connected. So if I have a nurse that takes vital signs right at the front desk, they can do that in the chart. I don't even have to know that that's happening. When I open up the FlexNote, that'll just be available in my chart. Same thing with medications, family history, social history. All this is also connected to the patient portal, which is also available as an app. And so the patient can be filling out all this information, well, probably not vital signs, but medications and allergies and problem lists and things like that. And that's all getting pulled into the note. But
now, with that vital sign, real quick, Erez, with the vital signs, if I'm going to do one the next day, it'll start stacking on top of each other.
It'll actually update in that note. and
Okay.
you'll be able to see your history of notes right through the prior notes interface.
Great.
Now,
Awesome.
where this gets really exciting is, I mean, you're not going to create, you don't want to create a note by taking one piece at a time from the chart and then trying to, create something manually. I mean, if you were dictating, you can do that. Just text to speech to text, and it'll just kind of, enter it in here for you.
And
But
I just want to pinpoint that too before you go forward to the next piece, because there's a lot. I've worked with a lot of medical doctors, medical practitioners, and most of them prefer to use like a Dragon Speak or some kind of dictation that integrates directly into this note platform.
yeah, literally just hold down the button and speak and it'll start typing. But the
Awesome.
really exciting part of this is when you start to use the built-in macro system, because you can create your own macros, or you can import some of our pre-baked macros that allow you to start out with a complete note. And let's say that you have sections that you don't need, you can just erase those really easily. And then everything else you can kind of navigate through this field interface where you're filling out parts of this note just by kind of navigating through. You can use tab to go through these fields and put the relevant info.
Awesome.
And this is where you can really benefit from the integration with the chart, because as you're putting this together, well, I could have a chart or a macro that includes this vital signs component.
Wow.
So let's say I wanted one with vital signs, and I want to put it right into my subjective, or however I want to do it. I can grab all this. I can create a new macro. This is going to be my my new initial. Oops. Eval, rename that. And then the next patient that comes in, if I want to, use my new initial eval that includes my vital signs, I can do that. And up here, you'll see that I have my vital signs already with the information for this patient, obviously, and it's going to be the latest information available. So this is really exciting.
It's really cool, because I can know, like, I know that you're paying attention to user interface. And by that, I mean, like, one, you originally created the Genesis platform for high volume chiropractic, right?
Yes.
But now as the company's grown, we got a lot of other practices using a lot of other types of practitioners.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you got some complaints saying, I can't use this, I'm an MD, or I can't
Right.
use this, I'm an MP. So now you've said, all right, we got to, and I want you listeners to really take a look at how fast this stuff is working, because the biggest pain point that we encounter talking to doctors is how much time it's going to take to create new macros and things like that. And you can see that, Erez clicks faster than most human beings, but if you shave a couple seconds or add like 5 seconds, you're still at a 15-second note there. So
yeah. Now, one thing that's really exciting is marrying the two sides of documentation, the super fast sort of high volume chiropractic interface that we had in XMR and SuperNotes, our first and second generation documentation systems, with the FlexNote. So check this out. I'm going to take this whole primary complaints section, and rather than making that text with built-in fields, I'm going to replace that with a single field called the presenting problems field.
nice.
Now, this field, I'm going to select shoulder, left shoulder, and I've got sharp pain. Let's say that I also have numbness in the shoulder. So I'm going to rate it a 9, occasional, or let's make it frequent, somewhat better, 1 to best and worst, and let's say morning. So as I'm filling in these fields, the narrative is automatically updating and creating my narrative for me. Now, where this gets really exciting is, let's say that this is my initial visit with a patient, and let's say that I have a follow-up encounter. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a daily note. And in my daily note, I also want to add in this presenting problem field. Now, the presenting problem field is going to be It's going to pull in all the information from that initial note. And now for my second note, if I just want to change one thing about it,
Wow.
you can see how it automatically, it's so quick to change 1 or 2 data points.
Yeah, that's
It's
amazing.
really, yeah,
I
exactly.
can't believe I'm actually gonna say this, but this makes me excited to do notes. So it's been a long time since I've done notes. This is I mean, this is just a win, man. When can we expect this to be available? Like, is it in the beta version now? Do we have offices testing it?
We've actually have offices using this live. So
Okay.
this is in production. This is used by a few of our offices. There's a lot of hand holding right now. There's a lot of tweaking and things like that, but they've been using it for a few months. And so far we've had some really, really good reviews. We have a couple of really exciting features that are coming out really soon to help with some of the workflows. Integrated x-rays and images along the bottom.
Awesome.
That's coming out, so you'll be able to see all your x-rays and pop them up and compare them side by side and so
Wow,
on.
that's great.
Yeah, we've got for some of our longer notes, like let's say this initial eval, you can see that it's kind of lengthy.
Yeah.
So we have a navigation bar that's going to come up on the left side that'll let you, just like a Google
Jump from
Doc.
like jump from title to title. Will you have
Exactly.
a will you have a personal injury and like a work comp template as well?
Yes, yes. We already have some of those templates built in, and we're kind of tweaking those and working through them. But yeah,
So
absolutely.
we're recording this in mid-May. I'm not sure when it'll go out in the video for all y'all, but what's the timeline here? Hopefully we can get this out. Or this video may even be out, but this is a good resource to go back and see how you're doing things. What's
For
the
sure, for sure. Yeah.
expected release date when all of our customers can get this?
We actually highly encourage any practice that has multi-specialty or other disciplines working to start using this today. This
Awesome.
is already going to be a better fit for everybody who is not a chiropractor. This is already a way better fit to do their documentation. The chart mode is already a way better fit for anybody in the more traditional medical space.
Yeah.
And we have a few physical therapists that have started to use the FlexNote as well and have some really, really good experiences with that.
Great.
Um,
So then just give us a call, ask for your ask to get FlexNote put into place, or we
Chat
now
now.
I was going to say we now have a chat now feature.
Chat now.
What you got to do is hit that chat now feature and say, hey, get me my FlexNote.
That's right.
This is
Yep.
awesome, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for just this will be a short and quick one because I'm excited to see our offices put this into play, and we'll definitely do some more longer drawn out aspects of
Yes.
this so that all of our customers can really dive into this and get the use out of it. Do you see this replacing the first couple iterations of this, like the first couple generations of our notes?
Eventually, I think for most of our practices, this will become sort of the best, most efficient way. Initially, I think it'll be much more useful for practices that have already a multidisciplinary
Yeah.
kind of setup. And then as we develop more and more of those like super quick features, it'll be a better fit for more and more of our user base.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Erez, as always. And we're going to continue with these tech updates. So if you do enjoy what you're seeing here, please comment below and share this stuff, or give us some feedback. Hit that chat now button so we can help you leverage technology to create your dream practice. So thank you, Erez.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Doc.